everyone, Screaming Geek Man here. I am Jerry the Geek. Today we are going to do the monthly watch. Everything I've watched in the month of October. And my theme for the month actually did vampires. But before we get into that, if you like physical media, 4Ks, Blu-rays, DVDs, home theater, movies in general, please check out my other videos because I do these type of discussions. I also do unboxings, collection updates, reviews. Check that stuff out. Hit the like button, subscribe, and turn your bell notifications on. Also, comment below. Let me know what you think of anything here. And also, tell me what you watched. So let's get into my monthly watch of October. Again, I did the vampire month, and I didn't limit it to horror movies. I thought I'd open it up and actually do anything that was, vampire related. So there's, a couple kind of comedies and animated. So I didn't want to narrow it down. I just wanted to broaden and just do anything vampires. And I had quite a few. So let's get started. The first one up is John Carpenter's Vampires. This is such a great movie. This needs a 4K upgrade. I mean, John Carpenter has quite a few of his on 4K. So I'm hoping this might be one of them. I mean, this is a Sony release, so it's always possible. Now you can see here, this is a DVD I've never upgraded, so yeah, I want an upgrade. Next up is the sequel, Vampires Los Muertos. This started out kind of, when I first started, first few minutes, I was like, what, where is this going? But this did end up being a good movie. I did enjoy this once it got past a few minutes. This actually has John Bon Jovi in it. So definitely worth checking out if you haven't seen it. Next up, we got Vampire in Brooklyn. This is an underrated movie in my opinion, with Eddie Murphy. It's got that little bit of comedy in it, not a lot, but a lot of people just do not talk about this one. I love it. I think it is a great movie even to this day. And I would love to see this one get a upgraded 4K. This is a Paramount, so it could happen. Next up, we've got Blade on 4K. Definitely a classic movie here. I love this. I was glad to get the 4K here. Hopefully the 2 and 3 come out on 4K as well. It's been rumored, but it just hasn't happened yet. Next, we got Dracula Untold. I did a review of this one a while back. This is actually a really good movie. It's a different telling of the mythology of Dracula. So if you haven't seen this, definitely check that out. It's really good. Next up is one that a lot of people don't like. This movie gets a lot of hate. Morbius. I love this movie. Of course, I'm more open-minded because I don't follow Marvel. I don't follow comic books. So I don't have any expectations going in. I have nothing to compare a movie to when I see it. So it's a blank slate for me when I watch these. So I really enjoyed this movie. And of course, this has a lenticular cover, which is very cool. And 4K. I even did a review of this, a while back. Yeah, I love this movie. I'm not afraid to say it. It's a damn good movie. Next up, we got the original classic, Dracula from 1931. This is like the second time I've watched this movie. I watched it when I first got this set of Universal Classic Monsters. Phenomenal 4K here. I've never did reviews for these, but of course, like this, you can see here, this is actually a custom cover I did. I used the original artwork and did the logo on the side there. Did the spine and did the entire back, all my design. And also did this same design I actually did in black and white. So if you're interested in seeing custom covers, I did a few videos that I showcase the ones I do. And also there's a link below for DVDcovers.net or highrescovers.net. I forgot what the name of the site was, which you can go to. They're not free. It's a yearly subscription, but once you pay that yearly rate, it's unlimited to how many you download. They got thousands and thousands of covers on their site to download. DVDs, Blu-rays, 4Ks, movies, TVs. They even have labels. They've got resources, forums, where if you're getting into that stuff, you can actually get help. I've got about 300 or so of my covers on this site. I love the site. They do a great job, and I forget how much it is per year. Mine always comes up in, I think, May. Next up, we've got Van Helsing. I actually, did a review of this when I watched it this month. This is one, even a second time around, I'm still not a big fan of this movie. I did not like it any better. I don't hate it, but I didn't love it. It's just like, it's okay. Definitely something that was overrated. I picked it up when my wife really liked it back in the day. Next up, we've got Vampire's Kiss with Nicolas Cage. This was a first time watch for me. I've had this for a while and I've just never, watched it. So I finally checked it out. It's pretty good. I mean, a different role for Cage. I mean, he plays this perfectly. Just completely gone berserk. Schizo. Personality does a phenomenal job with it. This is a pretty decent movie overall. Next up is another movie it doesn't get hate. It just doesn't get much talked about. Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Hunter. Damn, I watched this a while back, and so watching this again, I love this movie. This is definitely one of the best vampire movies in my opinion. I will be doing a list here in the next couple of days of my top 10, but yeah, definitely underrated movie no one talks about. You get to see a different side of the Abraham Lincoln legacy, and they mix in real life events of his life. So very well done movie. If you've not seen this, I highly recommend checking this out. Next up is one I actually watched on streaming because I've been waiting for a 4K of it. Only got a Blu-ray release, and Universal's do stupid shit like releasing Blu-rays and then waiting 6-8 months or even longer than that to release. So I went over and I watched it on Paramount Plus of all places. Universal and Paramount has a weird relationship. There's Paramount Paramount content that is not available on Paramount Plus, but it's available on Peacock. And there's some Universal stuff that's not available on Peacock and it's available on Paramount Plus. Go figure, I don't know. But this one is The Last Voyage of the Demeter. I love the movie. I want to own this. But they do not. It's been over a year since it came out on Blu-ray and it has not got a 4K announcement yet. So Universal, get your heads out of your ass and get this shit out there for people to buy. I'm not going to buy the Blu-ray and turn around and have to buy the freaking 4K after that. I really want to own this. It's a phenomenal movie in my opinion. It's a chapter out of Bram Stoker's Dracula. So it's a great companion piece to that movie. Next up is a combo. They put them together. Love at First. I always forget. Can't remember the damn name of this every time. Love at First Bite and Once Bitten. I got this from the Shout Factory sale, and both movies are on the same disc. But good movies, kind of more comedies to them, especially Once Bitten. I forgot. That's Jim Carrey. That's one of his early roles before he hit it big with Ace Ventura. And I forgot about it and watching. I was like, that looks like Jim Carrey. And they start talking like, that's fucking Jim Carrey. Next up, we got 30 Days of Night. This is one I never knew about until recently. So I picked it up for this month for the theme, and that was a good movie. I really enjoyed this. It's about the little town in Alaska where 1 month of the year there is no daylight whatsoever. So a lot of the townspeople actually leave town and go back down to the States to get away from that until then. Once the daylight comes back, then they come back. And there's, just a small portion of the town actually stays. And of course, the vampires show up and wreak havoc. So a very well done movie. It's got Josh Hartnett in it. Very good. Then next up, we got the sequel, 30 Days of Night, Dark Days. Definitely, it's a direct sequel to the other one. Different cast, though. This actually takes place down in around the Los Angeles area. And this is actually pretty good. I enjoyed this. Not as good as the first one, but still pretty damn good. Next up, we've got Hotel Transylvania, the animated movie. I only did the first one. I know I could have added numbers to the watch and doing the other ones, but I was like, I'll just do the just one from the franchise. I've only seen actually I've got three. I've only watched two of them. I still need to pick up the newest one, but these are great characters, great animation, great story about the story of Dracula and his daughter. Next up, we've got Renfield with Nicolas Cage. I also did a review of that you can check out. Now, this is a 4K. This is actually a steel book. This 4K is the only way to get it is through Turbine. And they just did release a 4K standard version as well, but you have to get it through Amazon UK. It still does not have a US release. So as far as the US goes, it's only on Blu-ray. If you want the 4K, you got to import it. But I really enjoyed this movie. Some people didn't care for it. And definitely a different take because it's all centered around, a character of Renfield, Dracula's, go-to guy. I really, really like this. It was a lot of fun. And it's got some cool stuff in the bonus features. There was this one musical scene they did. I'm glad they deleted it because I thought it would have hurted the overall tone of the movie. So I'm glad they cut it out, even though it was a cool scene in the bonus. So if you have not seen this, definitely check it out. It's really good. Next up, we've got Vampire with Danny Trejo. And yeah, they make a big deal of Danny Trejo. He's hardly even in it. I mean, after the big opening sequence, you don't see him again. It's like, great. What was the big deal? He's gone. But anyways, I know I love Danny Trejo, but you got to admit the majority of the movies he's in are stinkers. He acts because he loves acting, so I don't fault him for that. The movies he's in are usually, they suck. I was really hoping for something good here, and no, I hated this. I will never watch this again. Next up, we've got another streaming movie. I was just going through looking for, some more vampire movies and see what was available. And I come across this one. It's called Dracula Original Living Vampire. It has Michael Ironside in it. And this was actually pretty decent. It's definitely very different. But once you get into it, I mean, overall, it's got a good story and some decent pacing. So I did like this. I probably would be willing to buy this eventually. I forgot to look to see if this is actually available or not. I'm not sure if it is or not. Because this was actually on Amazon Prime. So I'm probably guessing it probably is not available. Next up is another streaming title I did. And got a Queen of the Damned. This was another first time watch. I don't remember seeing this. I watched this on Paramount Plus. And decent movie. It's got some slow points to it, but not, it's not bad overall. One of the things I didn't like about it is the streaming, the streaming version. It looked like it was DNR'd bad. I mean, a lot of the shots, some of the close-ups. I mean, it did have the waxy look, and it just didn't have the depth to it like you would expect. So when everybody talks about streaming, it's like this is a good example of where it fucking sucked. But the movie was pretty decent. So next up, we've got another classic, Salem's Lot. Based on a Stephen King book. I only got this 2 or 3 months ago. I picked it up at Walmart. I've always wanted to get this. And of course, now that I got it, I might do a 4K. Who knows? Especially since I just got HBO Max. Or the streaming service Max, just put out a new one. I've heard mixed reviews about, but this classic still holds up. I still enjoy it. It's really good. And next up, we've got the sequel, A Return to Salem's Lot. I picked this up through the Shop Factory sale. Yeah, this was, in my opinion, this was a piece of trash. I hate this. Compared to the first one, you watch this, it's like, what the F was I thinking? Yeah, I did not like this at all. It was garbage. But it was a vampire movie. Next up, we got another good one. The Lost Boys on 4K. Definitely ranks up there with one of the best vampire movies out there. It has a great cast. Corey Haim, Corey Feldman, Kiefer Sutherland. So yeah, great cast and great movie and a great 4K. Next up, we've got Dracula from 1979. This has Frank Langella in it. This is actually a pretty decent movie. It's not bad. That's not the greatest, but definitely very dated, but nice and different take. It was pretty good. Next up, we've got Underworld, basically about the war between the vampires and the werewolves. With, of course, Kate Beckinsale, very hot in that outfit she wears in this thing. I really want to see this on 4K. Next up, we've got Life Force, space vampires. I just picked this up through a Shout Factory sale. This was it felt like a first time watch because I've not watched this since VHS. So I didn't remember nothing about it. So damn good movie. I actually did a review of that you can check out. Very impressive 4K here. Next up, we've got Dracula 2000. This is actually presented by Wes Craven. He didn't direct it, he just presented it. He was an executive producer. Has Omar Epps in it, and Gerard Butler is one of his early roles. He actually plays Dracula, and you can tell how young he is in this one. Trying to see who else we have. Jerry Ryan, Jennifer Esposito, Christopher Plummer, Sean Patrick Thomas. So it's got a very decent cast, and it's kind of an updated, modern take on the vampire lore of Dracula. And I really enjoyed this. And it's been years since I've watched this, so I was glad to dive back into that. Next up, we've got another streaming movie, The Little Vampire. I found this on Paramount Plus. I'd never seen this, and I kind of vaguely remembered hearing about it. But I was like, well, this looks like a cute movie. Definitely want to check this out. Something different, not horror. This is actually geared toward the family. This was a lot of fun. I would like to see this on a Blu-ray. Basically, it's a family, parents and a son. They moved up. I think it's Scotland. They moved, and basically they lived in LA, so here they are living in Scotland now. And the kid is, which is played by I can't remember his name. He was the same kid that was in Jerry Maguire. And I was like watching this movie. I was like, I know him. He looks like him. And I looked it up. It was. Anyways, he befriends a kid vampire. So it's a very good movie. I really enjoyed this. Definitely check this out if you have a chance. If you have Paramount Plus, check it out. It's a lot of fun. Next up, we have Dracula 2, The Ascension, this is a direct sequel to Dracula 2000. Of course, it's got an all-new cast. No one came back from the first one. Again, this is presented by Wes Craven. And surprisingly, normally when you have a really good movie that gets sequels, usually the sequels suck because they're low budget and, direct to video. This was actually good. I really enjoyed this. Oh, something else about this one. I had to stream it. The DVD here would not it would start playing, and during the opening scene, it would lock up and had a little pixelation and lock up. I tried resetting it, and I rebooted it a couple of times, made sure the disc was clean. Disc was scuffed a little bit. I'm not sure if that was the issue, but still, same spot. So mainly the disc probably was bad. I tried it in my HD DVD player, wouldn't work. And tried it in a couple other players, even my Xbox. It wouldn't even recognize the disc. It would say uncompatible, wouldn't recognize it. So I was like, fuck, I got this fucking DVD, I can't even play it. So I had to stream it. And it was on in a streaming service that was through Roku Cinemax. And it wasn't free. So I God damn it. So I signed up for a free trial, watched the movie, and I canceled the subscription. So screw it. I got to watch the movie finally. Next up, we've got Bram Stoker's Dracula, which this is a newer 4K. I just did a review of that you can check out. Definitely one of the all-time classics. It hasn't aged as well as some movies. There are some, I can understand how some of the newer generation probably might not like it. It could seem a little dated because it has a slow burn to it at times because it's just developing the characters. It's got a lot of dialogue. But still, it is overall still a great movie. But after all these years, it definitely won't be one of my favorites. It's going to be knocked down a few pegs probably. But still a very good classic. Next up, we've got Dracula 3 Legacy. This rounds out the trilogy that was presented by Wes Craven. And this is another one where I thought, the second one was pretty good. So this one I was like, it might be good, might be bad. This is actually pretty damn good. I really enjoyed this one just as much as the second one. Jason Scott Lee, that was in the second one. He come back for this one. So it does a very good job, very good movie. Plus, you got Rutger Hauer playing Dracula, so you can't beat that. I love Rutger Hauer. So another one, if you haven't checked out, definitely give it a whirl. Next up, we've got the classic Fright Night. This is a 4K Steelbook. I just did a review of that you can check out. Definitely, I have not watched this. I'm not sure if I'll ever own this. So I'd have to look. I don't know if I had it on Laserdisc or not. But yeah, I don't remember having this. So it's probably VHS I last watched it. But great classic. Definitely a top tier vampire movie. And plus the 4K here from, Sony. Top notch. Incredible presentation. Next up, we've got a George Romero vampire movie. Yes, not a zombie movie. Martin. I'd never even heard of this movie until just a year or two ago when it surfaced, where they dug it up and was putting out on physical media finally. Because I don't think this has ever had a physical media release before. This is definitely very dated. I probably will do a review of this probably another day or two to give my thoughts on it, and plus the 4K. It's not a bad movie, but you have to have a very open mind watching because it's not your typical vampire movie. But if you're open minded, you like this weird stuff out there, out of the box thinking like George Romero does. This was pretty decent. I wouldn't mind. I would watch this again. And the last vampire movie I just watched today, Dracula, Prince of Darkness. This has Christopher Lee in it. And this is a freaking old movie. I can't, 1965. So yeah, I've never seen this. I've had this DVD for years and just never watched it. It's just one of those things you buy movies and just because and don't get it that it gets left behind. But so I'm glad I did this theme. It forced me to watch the movie I probably normally wouldn't watch. For being an old 60s movie, and I wasn't expecting to like it. But I did like this. This is really good. I really enjoyed this one. So if you like classic movies, definitely give this one, check this out. So that does it for my vampire theme. So let's jump in. I actually did a couple movies. Actually, I did 3 movies that weren't vampire movies. That's it. It's been bad. It was a busy month going through all those vampire movies. But so last week, one night, next day, I was like, there was a movie that popped in my head and a lot of scenes, and I couldn't get it on my head, and I had to watch it again. Top Gun Maverick. Freaking awesome movie. Of course, my wife and I saw this at the theater. I've watched it, I think 3 times now on a 4K. I think this one actually, as good as the first one is, I think this one blows away the original. This is just so well done. To the pacing, great story, great performances. So like I said, I had it in my head. I couldn't get it out, so I had to watch this again. I enjoy this so much. They are developing a 3rd one, so it'll be interesting to see what they do with it. Hopefully, that Tom Cruise is one that he doesn't want to rush stuff. He wants to put out a good quality product. And a lot of the people involved with this one will be doing the 3rd one. So I have hopes for it. Hopefully they don't rush it and take their time with it. Next up, we've got Haunted Mansion from Disney. This definitely is a first-time watch. My wife and I watched this only because we saw just a couple before we watched this was watching Celebrity Family Feud, and they had the 2 teams were from the cast and filmmakers of Haunted Mansion. So my wife decided she wanted to watch the movie, so I broke it out and watched this. Very good. The 4K, I did a review of this, not so good. Definitely a dark, if you want to know more in details about that, check out the review. But it is a good movie. I did enjoy this. It's definitely worth a watch. And last but not least, A Nightmare on Elm Street. This is the UK exclusive edition. I did an unboxing of this. I did a review of that if you want to check out everything. Was it a perfect 4K? No. But it was pretty good, considering, 40 years old horror movie. They did a really good job with it. It's the best it's ever looked. I would love to see Arrow get their hands on this and see what they could do with it. It is rumored, it's been surfacing the last couple of days. I've been seeing that Arrow is working on a box set. There's no confirmations on it. It's just rumors. I'm hoping that comes to fruition because that would be awesome. When it comes to, box sets, that'd be cool. I know they don't normally do big box sets. I mean, you're talking about the whole franchise. That's a lot of Elm Street movies. That would be the ultimate box set. It'd rank up with the Friday 13th set that Shout Factory did. I'm hoping it happens. We'll have to just wait and see. I know from a couple of it is confirmed that a couple of them is being worked on for 4K from the directors that have posted that they're working on the color timing and all that. So they are being worked on. As far as when they come out and who does them, we don't know. But anyways, yeah, that was the last movie that I watched for this month. So there you have it. Everything I watched in the month of October. So in all, as far as vampire movies go, I watched 34 vampire movies. Pretty damn good for a month. There's I didn't watch during the weekend because, with my wife being here, so I usually don't get to watch any movies on the weekend. So during the weeks, I have to double up and do 2 movies in a day a lot of times. And then, of course, I had 3 extras, so I had a total of 37 movies I watched this month. I know when it comes to monthly themes, and a lot of people, when it comes to October, it's horror month, spooky season. I decided I wanted to do something different. That's why I decided to go with a vampire theme. And plus, like I said, didn't limit it to the horror genre. I just included comedy and animated as well. There are a few other ones I had in my watch list on streaming. And plus, there was another DVD of Blood Rain. I was going to watch that one, but for some reason, I can't find a damn thing. Maybe I got rid of it thinking I was going to get the 4K, and that didn't happen. But anyways, I didn't get to that one. So please comment below. Let me know what you think of everything I've watched. The monthly theme of vampires. If you did your own monthly theme, what did you watch? I'm kind of curious to see what you guys did. I know early in the year I was shooting to do a theme every month, but after a while it just got to be too much to try to keep up with because I was getting to doing TV shows. I was been watching stuff and trying to do reviews and other content. So it was too much because doing the monthly theme, I kind of felt obligated. I was kind of pressured to try to get a whole bunch watched. So it kind of took the fun out of it. So I'm kind of doing like every other month or something like that. So the month of November, I don't think I'm going to do a theme month. I'm going to get back in. I'm going to binge watch some Supernatural. I've got about 10 season watch, so I'm going to try to get some more done in November. Plus, I got some more discussion videos I want to do. Definitely a lot more reviews I want to get up for you. Especially one of these, I got that Martin. I definitely want to do a review of that. So hopefully in a couple of days, I'll have that up. You can check out. And if you want to see that Martin, if you want to see more of that, I did an unboxing when I got it. I got it with Dog Soldiers. I did an unboxing of both those together if you want to see everything in that set. Because when I do the review, I probably won't take the time out to show you everything. Now, December, I might do a theme in December. I might do releases that came out, this year. Because I do want to do a top 10 list from 2024. So a lot of them I picked up I have not watched. So if I maybe do a theme, I definitely want to force myself to watch those. So that might be my monthly theme for December. I don't know. As far as other themes I want to do, I definitely want to jump in and do animated. I've been thinking about this, the whole month of animated movies, and actually do I thought it'd be cool to do a top 10 list of like Disney and Pixar. And then I do maybe an overall, I don't know, but also non-Disney. Because there's a lot of animated movies that were not done by Disney that are phenomenal. So I think I might do a separate top 10 list of that, outside Disney. So I'm not sure when I might jump on, maybe after the first year. I'm not sure, but definitely that is another one I'm looking for. Again, comment below, let me know what you think. Check out my other videos on my channel. Like, subscribe, turn the bell notifications on, and look out for the future videos. So we'll see you soon. Geek out.